Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to NBA Got Game TV. Thanks for tuning in. The NBA draft night is always full of surprises. Just because you don't have a lottery pick doesn't mean that it's impossible to draft an NBA superstar. In fact, actually some of the best players weren't lottery picks. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the biggest draft day steals in NBA history. But before we start with this video, if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Also underneath the video, you will see a link to our Facebook page. Likes are really appreciated. And I would say without any more blah blah, let's start the video. We are going to start off our list with Kobe Bryant. The Charlotte Hornets traded Kobe Bryant to the Los Angeles Lakers on draft night after selecting him 13th overall in the 1996 draft. So first, the Black Mamba was passed up by 12 different NBA teams, but then traded for Vlade Divac. Kobe led the Los Angeles Lakers to 5 NBA titles while passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. Bryant is a 16-time All-Star and is headed to the Hall of Fame without any doubts. His heart and passion for the game made him improve every game and every season. And the next player on our list is John Stockton. Practically nobody knew John Stockton in 1984. The Utah Jazz and Frank Layton had an incredible scouting team back then. Stockton is one of the best players of all time, but still was drafted at number 16.
Was revealed shortly after 11 o'clock this morning.
The Utah Jazz select John Stockton of Gonzaga University.
I think that we spend a lot of money and a lot of time, and we do a very good job at scouting. Why should we share that with anybody?
Frank went on to add that the first scout to spot Stockton is a local Hall of Famer.
Jack Gardner does our Pacific Coast scouting, and he sees a lot of the Pacific Coast players on TV as well as live. He mentioned to me that he felt he was a very good player.
The Jazz coaches then decided Stockton was the player they needed, an able backup to Ricky Green.
He's a dangerous scorer. He's not as quick as Ricky, but he's very, very quick by most standards. And he can score, and he's an exciting passer. I think he'll do some exciting things in our fast break. I think most of the scouts felt that if we didn't take him, he would have been taken right after us by somebody else. And so we feel good about him.
And the next player on our list is Dennis Rodman, the Worm, one of the most tenacious and weird players to ever play the game in NBA history. Dennis Rodman was selected 27th overall by the Detroit Pistons, and they could not have predicted that he would become the player that he was.
I love the game. I love my job, even though the job that I do on the court, people don't like. They don't want to do it. But I love what I'm doing. I want to earn my money. I want to earn my respect on the court.
Thomas went down, no foul. Vincent has it blocked by Rodman. Unbelievable hustle play by Rodman.
He just wants it a little bit more than everybody else right now.
That's what Dennis does. He does it better than anybody in the league, and he hurts you every time.
A versatile athlete and a savvy competitor, Dennis Rodman dedicated himself to frustrating and disrupting the opposition.
Dennis took the responsibility of guarding the other team's top scorer all the time, regardless of who he was.
This is Jordan at 1-and-1 now. Rodman won't give an inch.
He is truly the only person I've ever known that could guard all 5 positions. And I don't mean just guard them a little bit, clamp down and shut down.
In addition to his 7 all-defensive first-team selections, Rodman also won 7 straight rebounding titles, averaging a staggering 16.7 boards over that span. Quite a feat for a player not much bigger than a shooting guard.
Most people think he's 6'9", 260, and Dennis was maybe a half an inch taller than me at 6'6", 220, and he impacted the game a lot bigger.
There's Dennis again. He doesn't even have to score a basket to turn a game around with his rebounding ability.
You got to throw him in the category of some of the greats like Bill Russell.
Rebound Rodman. He's unbelievable at that. Best in the league.
Like a Will Chamberlain.
Rodman's tap is rebound number 34.
Because he used to dominate the game just on rebounds alone.
Oh, the dandy rebound from Dennis Rodman.
And And the next player on our list is Tony Parker. The San Antonio Spurs are the kings of drafting the best available player and finding gems in the draft. And Tony Parker is the proof. The Spurs drafted Tony Parker with the 28th overall pick, and he became a major contributor to 4 NBA championships for the San Antonio Spurs. Tony Parker has made the All-Star team 6 times and earned the Finals MVP in 2007, which made him the first European-born player to win this award. And the next player on our list is Shawn Kemp, another 6-time All-Star featured on this list. Kemp was selected with the 17th overall pick by the Seattle Supersonics. Shawn Kemp joined Gary Payton to form the original Lob City, but he was not only one great dunker, but his mid-range shot was deadly.
Shawn reached a difficult choice. He would defy the odds and the advice of those around him to try to make the improbable jump directly to the NBA.
Look back at the history of who's tried to do that or who has actually been successful going from high school to the NBA. And, you know, with the exception of Moses Malone being a long time person at this, like, that's probably not a real good way to go.
The media, they were like, Shawn Kemp's going pro. What is he thinking?
With the 17th pick in the 1989 NBA draft, the Seattle Supersonics select Shawn Kemp from Trinity Valley, Texas.
They called me as soon as I was drafted, like 10 seconds later. They called me, and only thing I hear in the background are boos. I'm like, oh my.
Since Shawn Kemp left high school, has not played in an official basketball game.
And the next player on our list is Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas made the Golden State Warriors and the Washington Wizards fans very happy. He also made the Golden State organization look like genius when they selected him with the 30th overall pick. But it was the Washington Wizards that landed Gilbert Arenas in his prime after 2 seasons with the Warriors. Arenas was a 3-time All-Star with the Washington Wizards and averaged 25 points, almost 6 assists and 5 rebounds per game. And the next player on our list is Joe Dumars. If a team had the chance to draft a 6-time All-Star with an 18th overall pick, every NBA team would gladly have this opportunity.
Number 18 pick belongs to Detroit. Here's David Stern.
The Detroit Pistons select Joe Dumars of McNeese State.
There is Joe Dumars. He is projected as a point guard, 6'3", 200 pounds, and a lot of people compare him in some of his playing style to Andrew Toney of the 76ers. He is considered a pure first-round pick and the first small guard, point guard type player to go. John Thompson, your feelings about him?
Well, from what I've heard, he's just an outstanding shooter, and McNeese State it has an outstanding basketball program. I think now what is happening is we're now starting to get into the unpredictable picks, and a lot of people are going to be surprised. I heard somebody say he was a better shooter than Toney, and if he's better than Toney, he can shoot the basketball. He's not shooting hope at the basket.
And of course, Indiana has a pretty darn good point guard already, or I should say Detroit has a pretty darn good point guard already, so Dumars may get a look as a big guard. Let's just find out, and let's go to Rick Barry now. Rick?
Hey, Joe, congratulations. You're going to get an opportunity to go to a team that has another great guard on it, Isaiah Thomas. Are you looking forward to getting a chance to play with him?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a chance to play with Isaiah. He's a great guard, and I think there's a lot that I can learn from him.
Now, they talked about you being a point guard. Of course, with Isaiah there, I think you may have to make a little move over to the shooting guard position, but I think you might be able to handle that quite well. They say you're a great shooter. How do you feel you could adjust to playing that role?
I think I can make the adjustment. It doesn't matter, really, if I play the point or the off guard. I'm used to playing the off guard as well as the point guard, so I think I can make the adjustment.
Now, you've been compared to a great guard in the NBA for the Philadelphia 76ers, Andrew Toney. Did you pattern your game after Toney's style, or is there any player that you grew up idolizing?
Not really. I didn't pattern my game after Andrew. It just happened that he played ball in the same area that I did, and we were both guards, so I think that's where the comparison started.
Well, I want to ask one question. You have 4 brothers who were big high school football stars, and the coaches down there tried to get you to quit basketball. Why did you stick with basketball?
I just got more enjoyment out of the game of basketball. I enjoy playing it better than football, and I'm just happy right now.
Well, it certainly paid off for you. Welcome to the NBA. Let's go back to Bob Neal now.
There were many draft day steals in NBA history. We can't forget Draymond Green, Paul Pierce, Michael Redd, and Steve Nash. All those picks prove that you don't have to be a #1 draft pick to become an NBA legend.
Hey, are you an old school NBA fan? Well, then our channel, The Basketball Time Machine, is the right channel for you.
On our show, we feature NBA players from the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, talking about the good old NBA days. Former NBA players telling their stories of Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and many, many more. So if you miss old school NBA, just click on our channel, the BTM, the Basketball Time Machine, subscribe to our channel, and let's bring the good old days back.